So WatcherAzazel has a video up about the one time he agrees with Conservapedia, the conservative, right-wing, Christian, wackadoodle, alternative Wikipedia resource for wackadoodles. They have posted a thing about how there's this girl, 16-year-old girl, who successfully sued her parents who were trying to make her get an abortion. And Conservapedia casts it as some kind of victory against a liberal agenda or something. But WatcherAzazel finds it silly because what liberal wouldn't be for this girl's right to her bodily integrity? The whole thing reminds me of a Veronica Mars episode titled There's Got to Be a Morning After Pill, in which Veronica takes on the case of a girl who was given an abortion drug without her consent. And creator Rob Thomas thought this was pretty clearly assault, that no one should be forced to have an abortion against their will. Whatever way you fall on the issue, no one should have this forced upon them. And this allowed the show to explore the circumstances of abortion, the issues associated, the wacky pro-life activists that threaten everybody, and not make a firm stance for or against abortion, so they would escape unscathed, right? Well, everybody took offense, because no matter what the show actually did, they were so bound up in their own ideology that they interpreted anything involving abortion to be a firm stance against their own politics, because people don't think. The thing is, I believe Conservapedia, being a collection of the most absurd right-wingers in America, saw this as some kind of victory blow against a liberal agenda to force abortion upon women, instead of just a movement trying to secure the right to get an abortion if the women so choose. I've seen some conservative pundits, like Penn Jillette, criticize the use of the label pro-choice, saying that it's deceptive, that it's just trying to provoke an emotional response and not accurately describe what the subject is, being for abortion. But the truth is, pro-choice is pretty accurate. The purpose is to secure the right to choose whether or not to get an abortion, not to be for abortion, which is what the conservatives of Conservapedia and like-minded sites try to promote. Pro-choicers want the option available if the women want it, and they want the women to be free to choose not to get it. They don't want to thrust abortion on women any more than they want the lack of choice to get an abortion thrust upon them. What it comes down to is an issue of freedom, which is more authentically Republican than these faith-based Christian right-wingers of Conservapedia who want a faith-based authoritarian government. As it turns out, Conservapedia has now changed their minds and they don't consider it a victory after all. Maybe someone explained to them that liberal is Latin for freedom and now they're against freedom. That theory makes as much sense as anything. After all, freedom stands in the way of theocracy. WatcherAzazel also alludes to this being a victory for youth rights, which I would agree with, and that's also possibly why Conservapedia has decided they don't like it. Conservapedians thrive off of authoritarianism. I imagine they would be disgusted by the notion that parents don't own their kids. The problem is you can't easily dismiss that line of thought as just belonging to the absurd, outlandish conservatives, as that line of thought, that authoritarianism, runs deep in our culture. On the one hand, you have the right-wingers who are influenced to maintain an authority, a system of hierarchy based on religion. They have the authority with God on top, and then the president, then the politicians, then the father, etc., and so forth. On the other hand, you have the left-wingers who want to maintain a central authority based on modern socialist ideology about a kindly movement seeking to control society to make everyone better and impose order on humanity. And youth rights activists have to fight against both mindsets that support authoritarianism in our culture. And I want to believe that it'll be the liberals who are more flexible and more able to support youth rights, but honestly, I don't know. Maybe it'll be the conservatives because they're against the leftists trying to impose authoritarian government. I don't know. In any case, I totally support that girl and her right to keep her bodily integrity. It's not about forcing abortions, it's about giving people the right to their bodily integrity and not having that taken from them by an authority figure, be it the government or parents or whomever.